Hey up folks, welcome to Sonofdel's live vlog on this the 19th of August. It's been about 6 weeks since I did my last vlog. Lots been happening, to be honest with you. As you can see, I've had a haircut, which is cool. I've aged. I am now 53. I was 52 when I did my last vlog. I've been reading, been doing quite a lot of reading, and I've also been doing a few jigsaws which you get to see. Bought a lot of jigsaws actually. Again, you'll see them in a bit on my jigsaw gallery. Been watching TV series called Cracker from the 90s, which I've really enjoyed, and basically just been getting through the days. Anyway, I've got an unboxing coming up today of the Abominable Book Club horror subscription box for, is it August or September? I can never get these right. I think it's August. Yeah, it will be. It'll be August. And I've also got 2 book reviews of 2 Mark Billingham books. I'll be talking quite a bit about books actually. And I'm telling you what I've been doing since I last spoke to you, and also I've got the last word today, which is mistakes. But coming up first, I've got the horror box subscription. I never get this right, do I? The horror book subscription box for August 2025. Here we go. I actually had this about 2 weeks ago and I've just not opened it. I've left it for me vlog. All I've done is literally cut the thing that holds it together. And as you can tell, because it's absolutely full of bits. Right, we'll start with a treat, which are Peruvian pink peppercorn cashews and peanuts. I might give them a bash if my teeth will help me. And they are Mr. Filbert. I've never heard of Mr. Filbert, but there you go. Mr. Filbert. So that's me sweet treat. There's always some savoury treat, sorry. There's always some treat in there for you to enjoy. My usual, which you must be used to these by now if you've seen all my vlogs. It's basically loads of drinks in a bag. We've usually got a couple of herbal teas in there. We've usually got coffee in there. Oh, hey, look, we've got a new one here. What's this? Sumatran fresh ground coffee, dark forest Arabica, strength 5, which is the strongest you can get. And I've never heard of the make. It's orangutan coffee. See, they've surprised me. Normally I get standard drinks in these, but that's a new one. I've never had that before. Orangutan coffee. If I suddenly start swinging from the lights, you know why. I've got lemongrass and ginger tea, which will go next door because I can't have ginger, as you know. Yorkshire tea, and options, hot chocolate, Belgian hot chocolate, and a Nescafe sachet. All drinks, all in there. That's a usual, that is, but the only thing that's unusual is the coffee. I usually get a coffee bag in there, but instead they've given me ground coffee this time. Right. Second hand book time. Can be a bit of a pain in the bum to open, but let's go. Yeah, managed it. Let's see what we get. It's a thin one. It's a thin one, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad one. Oh, and it definitely isn't a bad one, actually. One of my favourite authors, along with Stephen King, Dean Koontz, Sean Hudson, is Mr. James Herbert, and this book is called Haunted. It's only quite a thin one, you know. It's not a long. I think I've actually got this already. I'm not 100% sure, but if I have, I will pass this on to a lady I know down the road who does my book, takes my books from me, reads them, and passes them on to other people. Not me new books, don't get me wrong, not me new books, because if I've got new books and they're signed, I'm not exactly going to give them away, am I? Right, the second book is called, oh nice, it's a lovely title, Eat the Ones You Love by Sarah Maria Griffin. That is a new book, and it's called Eat the Ones You Love, and it's got a lovely picture on it of a, yeah, Venus flytrap or something or other that obviously eats people. Nice. It's a lovely thought, isn't it? I've also got another book, but this one is a, ooh, nice. It's a graphic novel, I think. Oh no, it is a book, it is a book. This one is called Remains, and it is by, hold on, oh, it actually says Remains issue 2, so it must be, it's all to do with book reviews and stuff like that, and it's called Remains, and it's obviously, you know, like a pamphlet booklet thing with all information in about different stories and different books that are out and all that kind of thing. So that's called Remains. I've got my bookmark. Dead people are just like you and me. They still want things. They look at us all the time and they miss being alive. Oh, that's a nice thought. And on the back, that way up? Yeah, that way up. Nice set of eyes just staring at you. Demonic. And the usual Abominable Book Club subscription box. With the QR code that you scan, and then it'll tell you all about everything that's in the box. I don't know what else is in here, I'll find out in a minute. There is some other stuff, so just bear with me. Oh, I've got some lovely fridge magnets. A Gary Brandner one called the Brain Eaters, lovely. These are fridge magnets, by the way, as you can see from the thinness. They are fridge magnets, and they'll be getting slapped on after I finish this. One by John Halkin, author of Slither. Ooh, nice. This one's called Slime. Doesn't look very pleasant. The horror one, Slime. And thirdly, one by, was that John Halkin again? Yes, it is. And this one's called Bloodworm. Nice title. Not a very nice picture either, actually. And they're all fridge magnets. I'll just see if there's anything else in my box. I can't tell, you see, until I get right down deep. I think that might be everything. Yeah, all that's left in here are chips. And I don't mean frozen chips. I mean horrible cardboard chips. So, we have got in my box, oh, I'll pick it up now. Filbert's cashews and peanuts, was that? Yeah, cashews and peanuts, pink peppercorn flavoured. We have my usual drinks. A second book called Remains, and it actually is volume 2. It says on the back it's volume 2, so that's Remains. I've got to find out what that is actually. My main book, which is Eat the Ones You Love by Sarah Marie Griffin. My second hand book by one of my favourite authors, James Herbert, and that is Haunted. I have 3 rather graphic and gruesome looking bookmarks. Bookmarks? Did I say bookmarks? I meant fridge magnets, forget that. I've got bookmarks coming up in a minute, that's why. And there's a fridge magnet. So them 3 will be going on soon. And I've also got 2 bookmarks, one with a very, very creepy pair of eyes on, which I still think looks cool like that, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's got the creepiness of the eyes and that. And that is what is in the Abominable Book Club Horror Box subscription for August 2025. Now, since my last vlog, obviously, like I told you, I've aged. I'm now 53. Some days I don't feel 53, some days I feel about 93, but some days I'm not too bad. I haven't had a very good time in the last week or so. I don't know why, but my mental health has really been suffering. I've been spooling poems out left, right and centre because I find it easier now more than ever to put my feelings and my thoughts into poetry. I've always done poetry, don't get me wrong, but before I was usually able to talk as much as I wrote poetry, so I used to be able to articulate what my poems were, etc, etc. Now I let my poems do me talking for me. We've had absolutely gorgeous weather for the last, probably 2 or 3 weeks now. Sun on, sun off. We've had some really hot temperatures. We've been able to sit out a lot more and socialise. There's been me, Tony and Shell from next door. Occasionally they have visitors pop in and then we'll talk to them, blah, blah, blah. I haven't done much as in the way of gone out much. I haven't been out a lot at all. I've been very sort of inward and reclusive a bit. Trying to keep myself to myself. I've got lots of thoughts going round in my head that I can't explain. I don't know where they're coming from and I don't know why I'm getting them, but I'm getting them. But other than that, yeah, it's been a case of just getting through the days. For some reason, the trees that overhang my backyard have decided that it's autumn already, and they've actually got rid of most of the leaves. They're literally coming down in buckets. Poor Shell next door, who sweeps my decking and her decking, literally as having to do it every 3 or 4 days because the leaves are coming down like you would not believe. So I think the trees are a bit confused as to what season we're in. We've still got about another 4 weeks of summer left. I've got somebody coming in tomorrow because I don't know whether I told you before on my other vlog, but I'm having a wet room done in my house because at the moment there's only a bath in there and I can't climb in and out the bath because of my medical problems. My CMT unfortunately prevents me from doing that safely. I can do it, but safely, that's the problem. Now, I also, like I say, they're coming in tomorrow and they're measuring up for they're working out the finances to how much it's going to cost. I haven't got to pay for it, the adaptations team's doing it for me. Because when I tell people that I haven't had a bath or a shower for a year, they look at you funny. But, don't get me wrong, I have been clean, don't worry about that. I'm not like going a year without washing myself because that's just disgusting. So yeah, it's been a case of me trying to get a hold on my mental health and trying to do stuff to keep my mind occupied. Obviously football season has now started again, which is going to help me a great deal because I love watching football. I don't want to spend every single night watching football though. I want to start doing more jigsaws. I want to start doing more writing, more reading. I'm catching up on some of my TV shows. I finally got round to start watching Stranger Things after all these years, and I'm on season 2 episode 5, and I'm really enjoying it because it's set in the 80s, and the 80s were my era. I love the 80s. There's nothing I can fault the 80s for. So yeah, I've been watching TV quite a lot. I've watched all my Only Fools and Horses now, and I watched the Only Fools and Horses story as well. Now that's in 6 parts, and it is definitely worth watching if you're a big fan of Only Fools and Horses. Unfortunately, they never brought it out on DVD, which I cannot understand why they didn't bring out the 6-part series, because I tell you what, I'd have bought it, and I know a lot of Only Fools and Horses fans would have done, because there's episodes on there that you've never seen, there's behind the scenes footage, there's all the mistakes what they made, and there's some really good, you know... Oh, hang on, I think I'm going to get bombarded here. Come on then. Are you coming up? No? Go. Next door's dog Sky. She does like coming in and surprising me, shall we say. She's after her mum at the moment, and I know why, because her mum's just walked past the window and she's wondering where her mum is. So yeah, on the TV show front, I am now watching an old 1990s series with the fantastic Robbie Coltrane called Cracker, where he plays a psychologist. So I'm enjoying that at the moment. I'm up to season 2, episode 7, I think. And it's hard to think that that actually was 30-something years ago. That is quite scary for me, because it doesn't seem that long ago that I was watching it when it was on TV. And unfortunately, Robbie Coltrane is no longer with us, so it is a bit poignant, if you like. So anyway, coming up, I've got a couple of book reviews for you. And also I'm going to be showing you some books which I bought in the last few weeks, because I want to try and get back into my reading. So I've literally bought a ton of books, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. But coming up first, I'll do the 2 book reviews for the Mark Billingham books. Now, anyone who's been following my vlogs knows that I read Mark Billingham books. And Mark Billingham has done a series of books with a detective in it called Tom Thorne. And Tom Thorne is a London-based policeman who basically, shall we say, he doesn't always go with the law, if you know what I mean. He bends the rules to catch the criminals, and it works. He does catch them, but he does go close to the edge sometimes. They are very dark and very gritty. Now, the first one I read this month is called Crybaby. Now, the funny thing about this one is it's actually set 10 years before the present time. It's actually set, this was actually set in 1996, Euro 96. And basically it's about a child that goes missing and all the investigation that goes along with it, and the mistakes that are made, you know, because they do make mistakes, the blaming of people, the way it's dealt with, finding out who it is, how it's worked and everything. It's a really, really clever story. and it gives you a bit of background to Tom Thorne as well. You find out a little bit more about his life 10 years before he, you know, the main books. So that is really good. I would give that one 7 out of 10, and it's called Crybaby by Mark Billingham. And it is book, I think it's 19 or 18 or 19 in the Tom Thorne books. If you ever get a chance, watch them from the read them from the very beginning. The reason I said watch them is because I found out that the first two, which were Scaredy Cat and I can't remember the other one, they were actually bought out as a TV series, but they never made any more after that, which I was gutted about, because I think they would have made a fantastic TV series. It would have been up there with A Touch of Frost, I think, depending who they got playing Thorne. I can't even imagine what they got playing Thorne. Probably might have Ashes to Ashes, can't remember his name now. But yeah, Crybaby, and I would give that 7 out of 10. Now this one, you couldn't really read as a separate book. It's called The Murder Book. Now, in this one, you will find a character that's been in 3 of the other books, or 2 of the other books. And I can't go into too much detail, otherwise I'll give away the plot of the other 2 books. But bear in mind that this is basically the conclusion to those stories, if you like. So you definitely need to read the Tom Thorne books in the right order to get to this one. Don't just pick this one up and read it, because it will make no bloody sense whatsoever. Now this is really good because, like I said, it puts nice little ending to a certain thing that was going on all through 3 of the books, and they're not even one after another, there's gaps between them, so you know, you've got to read the books in order. I would give that one 8 out of 10, and that's called The Murder Book by Mark Billingham. So that's Crybaby. Is it Crybaby? Crybaby, 7 out of 10, and The Murder Book, 8 out of 10. Here comes Sky again. She's running round me hallway like a loon.
Right, come here, little
Oh, now I've got another one. Oh, come here, little one. Oh, meet Piglet. Meet Piglet and meet Sky. I'm being bombarded here with dogs. Hello, Piglet. Hello, beautiful.
Hello.
Do you want a Piglet? That's me neighbour Tony. Wave to him.
Hey up!
I don't think anybody can see him. Oh, hang on. He's just going to demolish all my jigsaws.
Jumped at me.
I'll catch you in a bit, mate.
Catch you in a bit. Sky.
See, and I'll leave that in because I think it's funny, because it shows that I'm like human being, and things do happen that I'm not planning for. So yeah, those 2 Mark Billingham books. Now, I found out right at the end of The Murder Book, there's actually a tiny little bit of another book, which there always is, right? It's usually a preview of the next book, but what I like about this one is it's a new detective. It's a new detective, and the first book is called The Last Dance. Now, I was reading the prologue sort of thing, because it's about, what, 10 pages worth, and I suddenly thought, hold on a minute, this is set where I live now, this is set in Blackpool. And I thought, I wonder if that's just the first book. And anyway, it isn't going to be. The new detective novels from Mark Billingham are set in Blackpool. So it's going to be really funny about reading about somewhere where I actually live, because all I saw were the words The Tower, South Shore and Promenade, and I just thought, hold on a minute, sounds like Blackpool. And when I looked into it, they're actually set in Blackpool. So I've ordered the first 2 books. I'm looking forward to reading them. The 3rd one doesn't come out till March next year, I think. So yeah, I will let you know how I get on with them, because I'm really looking forward to reading novels that are set where I live. I've never had that before. Excuse me a minute. Sorry. But yeah, coming up, I'm going to show you the books I bought over the last, 4 or 5 weeks, and there are lots. Because I've decided to get back into my reading again properly, I wanted books, some that I've got that are knackered and literally are falling to bits, and I wanted a replacement. Now, the first ones I saw, these are all off Temu, by the way, or Tamu or Temu, whatever you want to call it. And the first ones are the Clive Barker books, and they're called The Books of Blood, volumes 1 to 6, and they are a fantastic read. They are what gave them, I think, the inspiration for Cabal, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, the Books of Blood, and they're by Clive Barker, and there's 2 books in the series. As you can see, they're big thick books, because there's 3 volumes in each, 1 to 3 and 4 to 6. And the gist of them is a man who was found literally covered, absolutely covered in stories that have been etched into his skin. And these are supposed to be the stories from off his skin. And it's called The Books of Blood, and it's volume 1 to 6, Clive Barker. Now the second set of books I bought, now I don't normally buy true stuff. I buy fiction, or I buy biographies, which obviously is true stuff. But I don't buy these sort of books, but I just fancied them. And there's 6 in the series, and they are urban legends, unsolved mysteries, true crime stories, conspiracy theories, paranormal stories, and stories of the occult. And they're a lovely set of books, as you can see from the side. They're a lovely set of books. Oh, upside down? No. They're a lovely set of books. And there's 6 in the series. And they're all by a guy called... one's by James Proud, the other are by Jamie King. But it's a set of 6 books, and you can see nicely coloured. They're all going on my bookshelf. Now, the third set of books, I read these when I was at school, a couple of them. I've never read all of them. And they're by a guy called H.G. Wells. Now, of course, a lot of you know H.G. Wells. There was War of the Worlds or The Time Machine. But this is a set of 8 books. 8 books. And the titles are The Sleeper Awakes, The War of the Worlds, The Island of Dr. Moreau, The First Men in the Moon, The World Set Free, The Invisible Man, The Time Machine, and Fascinating Short Stories. And they're all by H.G. Wells. Look at that for a box set. How amazing is that for a box set? It's got the picture on the side, look. That's another one. These are all off Temu. You would not believe you could get these off Temu, but you can. Now, a set of horror sci-fi films that I'm absolutely mad on are called Alien. The Alien films. I absolutely love the Alien films. And I've never read any of the books. And whenever I've been in charity shops, they've always had the odd one, you know. And I've always wanted to get them all. Now, I looked at buying them online, and you're talking £9 each. So for 8 books, you're talking a lot of money. And I managed to pick these up off Temu. And it is literally the complete Alien book set. You have got literally Alien, Aliens, Driver of Pain, The Cold Force, Prototype, Isolation, Uncivil War, Infiltration. You've even got the book of Predator on the bottom as well. And again, another book set. And last but not least, again, I've seen these books one at a time in charity shops, and I've always wanted to read the lot. And they're by a guy called Charlie Higson. And they are called The Dead, The Hunted, The Enemy, The Sacrifice, The Fear, The End, and The Fallen. And I'm looking forward to reading them as well. And they are Charlie Higson books. Now, I bought all this lot, and when I added it all up online, it came to £342. And I paid 80 for all of it. The lot. 80 quid. And that's, I'll tell you how many books it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 16, 18, 26, 29, 33 books. Now, you average these days about £8 a book. So you work that out for 33 books. That's a lot of money. And I got all that lot off Temu. And they came within 4 days, 5 days, the lot. So if you're a book reader and you want some really good collections of books, they've got tons on there. Everything you can possibly think of, go on there. I recommend them highly. And them are all the books that I bought. And I'm over the moon with them. Can't wait to start reading them. Coming up next, I've got my jigsaw gallery, showing you the jigsaws I've done and the jigsaws I've bought, because I've been a naughty boy again. But after that, I will be talking about mistakes. absolutely love this jigsaw. It is well cool. As you can see, it's all to do with the athletes that take part, Team GB in the Olympics. Some really cool pictures. Sorry if it keeps going out of focus. I've not got the best nerves for this, but I thought I'd do it anyway. As you can see, there's some really cool pictures. Oops, sorry about that. You can see all the way around the outside, you've got the various sports and the fans as well. Look, they're all celebrating and stuff, and they'll also do the embed. You've got everything, you've got skateboarders, you've got fireworks, you've got everything going on. You'll see it all in a minute. The red arrows there, look. And if you come down, we've got athletics, swimming, we've got shot put, we've got everything. It's a cool jigsaw. Bit of boxing there, look. Weightlifting, somebody's gone through the floor. I'll show it you all. Back to the top again. There you got a pole vaulter. Oops, sorry. Keeps going in and out of focus, I do apologise. Football there, look, a bit of football. We've got fencing. We've got a bit of else in there. Tennis, badminton, flipping everything. Swimming, diving. Archery, I like how they got Robin Hood doing the archery. Cycling, a bit of golf. There's the roar of the red light there, the English lion there, look, Team GB. And then as you come down, you've got basketball. And that is a fantastic jigsaw. Absolutely love it. It took me a few hours to do it, but it's been worth it. And if I come all the way back up, I hope it will stay in focus. And now, mistakes. Now, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, I really have. I've not listened to people when I should have done. I have listened to people that I shouldn't have done. I've done things that I shouldn't have done. I've got my visitor again. Hello, Sky. What's up? What's the matter? Yeah, what's up? Yeah, Sky. Look at, isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? Hey, this is Sky. This is Sky, isn't it? Yeah, this is Sky. Yeah, who's that? It's you, innit? You're going to be on my vlog. You're going to be a famous dog. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yeah. Go on then. Good girl. Good girl. Can't resist that dog, I tell you that now. She's been my comfort since I had to have my Jess put to sleep last October. Next door were a bit worried that, you know, it might be a bit too much for me, but she's actually helped me, to be honest with you. It's been nice to have another dog that I can fuss and play with, and, you know, she comes round here and all that. And sorry, I lost my trad then. Right, getting back to mistakes. Things I've done, I shouldn't have done. Things I haven't done and I should have done, etc, etc. And we all do make mistakes. And I've been literally going through my head, and this last week my head has just been full of all the mistakes that I've made. I don't know why suddenly I'm thinking about this, but I started thinking that, you know, I've made more mistakes than right choices in my life. And I got to the stage the other day, again, I was really low, I was really out of it. And I thought, don't get me wrong, don't take this what's it, but I actually thought, if I did disappear, would that be a mistake? Would it be a mistake? Would it be something that I should do, I shouldn't do? Other people wouldn't mind, other people would forget me within a week or two or whatever. I don't know, but I had this thing running through my head about mistakes, and I was determined that I wasn't going to make a mistake. And the odd thing was, I wanted a whiskey and coke the other night. Now, I don't drink a lot, trust me, I don't drink a lot, but I fancied a whiskey and coke and I hadn't got any in. And I ordered myself a couple of bottles, a bottle of Jack Daniel, a bottle of Jim Beam and a bottle of Buffalo Trace. And they came yesterday. And because of my state of mind, this is how concerned my neighbours were. They were actually worried the reason I was getting these whiskies was because I was going to try and attempt an overdose. Now, it wasn't. I just fancied a whiskey and coke on Saturday night. I really did. And I hadn't got any in, and that's unusual for me. Because I usually have about 2 or 3 a month. You know, I'm not mad on, I'm not, you know, one of these people who sits down and has 12 whiskey and cokes after another. I'd be flat on my back, I really would. And I'd rather be like that because I don't want to make that mistake of going down that route and turning to alcohol. Like I didn't want to make the mistake of going back to gambling again, which is why I bought myself a fruit machine, so that I can gamble to my heart's content and it's not costing me anything because it's my machine and it's my money. So I don't feel bad about that. But mistakes, sometimes you get a chance to put them right. You know, you will get a chance to put them right, and if you take that chance, great, then you're making up for your mistakes. But sometimes you don't get that chance, and that mistake then becomes a regret. And I look back at my life and I have got so many regrets, it's ridiculous, it really is, honestly. I regret, not like I say, not listening to my friends when they told me my first wife was going to be a real trouble, pain, you know. I should have listened to my best friend who gave me all the advice in the world, but I was a cocky young git and all I did was just said, yeah, whatever, you're just jealous. I was completely wrong and he was right, and I did say that to him. I was able to say, look, I made a mistake, you were dead right, you don't have to say I told you so because I know it's true. I got to do something about that when I got to do that mistake. Now, one of the mistakes I think I made was when I was with my wife Deb. We were together for nearly 13 years before we got married, and I think my biggest mistake was waiting that long. I think we should have got married a lot earlier. We could have been celebrating our 20-year anniversary, not our 10-year anniversary. There wasn't no massive reason why, just financial more than anything, because we wanted to have a proper wedding. I mean, Deb used to say to me that she would only ever get married once. She didn't know how prophetic that was, but it was prophetic. And she said she wanted it to be special. She didn't want just a registry office wedding. She wanted the wedding. And I've said, well, that's absolutely fine. You know, we'll save. Anyway, we went through a couple of bad phases where I was acting like an arse. And in the end, I came to my senses, behaved more sensibly, and we got married. And I can honestly say, yeah, it was the happiest day of my life, without a doubt. And I've had 9 fantastically, wonderfully married years with Deb. I just wish I could have turned it into 19 or 29 or 39 or, you know, whatever. Because I always assumed that me and Deb would grow old together. That's one thing I thought would happen. And I used to say, Deb used to say to me, are you scared of growing old? And I used to say, no, I'm not frightened of growing old. Not a chance, because it happens to us all if we're lucky. I said, no, I'm not frightened of growing old. What I am scared of is growing old alone. And I think that would be, that terrifies me, to be honest with you. It absolutely scares me silly. But I'm not prepared to just go and run out and find somebody new just so I can spend my life with them and not be alone for the rest of my life. I'm not going to make that mistake. That's a mistake I'm not going to make. So I joined a few friends groups on Facebook to try and make new friends, people I could talk to online and have a rattle with, and sometimes maybe even meet up in town or whatever. But the amount of scammers on these sites is incredible. I've never seen nothing like it. People will use disability, people will use bereavement, they will use illness, all to scam people. Most of them on there, you'll have a woman who's literally half naked saying that she's just looking for friends. What? I post a picture of my face, me, just like that, and I say 53, Blackpool, widower, looking to make new friends. That's what I'm doing. I'm not looking to date anybody. I'm not looking to flipping meet up with them and have a one-night stand or nothing like that. I want to make friends. I want to make friends. I've always said, if a new relationship comes along, fair enough. I can't say it won't, because I don't know what's going to happen in 5, 10, 20 years, but I won't go out looking for it. I'm not going to go on dating sites or nothing like that. I'm just looking at making friends. But that seems to be like a voodoo word. You mention friendship and everybody just thinks you want to sleep with somebody. And I'm sorry, but that's an absolute load of garbage. That's an absolute load of garbage. I've got 1, 2, 3, what, 4, maybe 5 female friends I talk to. It doesn't mean you're sleeping with them all. It doesn't mean you're sleeping with any of them. You just talk to them. You're friends with them. You say good morning, you say hello, you have a cup of coffee with them, you talk. You've got no design on them. But unfortunately for me, like I said, I know for a fact that I've made lots and lots of mistakes. And one of the ones I made has been very, very recent, a real bad mistake. I'm not going to tell you what it is, I'm going to keep you guessing. But anyway, I made a bad mistake and I am now sort of attacking my mental health to try and get myself around it. Because it's my fault. It's my fault. I made the mistake. I've just got to try and, work it out myself. We'll have to see. Anyway, if you've made mistakes or you want to talk or anything, if you do fancy adding me as a friend, feel free, because I am amicable. I'm somebody you can talk to. I won't spend all my life moaning about my conditions. I hardly ever talk about my conditions, to be honest. I am disabled, but that doesn't mean I'm wheelchair bound. Doesn't mean you have to do everything for me, like feed me with a straw or nothing like that. My disabilities mainly affect my mobility, my dexterity and my stamina. So yeah, if you do fancy adding me on friends on Messenger or WhatsApp, I'm on WhatsApp. The name Callum Arvis isn't my name. My name is Jason, and the reason I use Callum Arvis is because my old Facebook account got hacked to pieces and Facebook would not allow me back in again. And every time I tried to make a new account using my name, it wouldn't allow it. It kept blocking it all the time. So I used the character out of my fantasy novel which I wrote. The main character is called Callum Arvis, and that is the name I use for my Facebook account, but it's really me, Jason. And anybody who knows me knows that. Although it did cause a bit of confusion when I first did it, because people were sort of saying, hold on a minute, who's Callum Arvis? Why are you calling yourself Callum? And because they hadn't read my book, they didn't have a clue. So that was a mistake I didn't make. So yeah, that's been basically what's been happening. Like I said, my football team started off with a nice 4-2 win. Although when Bournemouth pulled it back to 2 each, I did fear the worst, I really did. But we showed our mettle and showed that we're not going to be willingly beaten. So, and just on a lighter note, I wish they'd get this Isak scandal thing sorted out, because I tell you what, Newcastle, Liverpool are sort of, I don't know, it's like a tennis match. And Isak is the ball. 1 minute he's hit back over the net to Liverpool, then Liverpool hit him back because Newcastle aren't happy, then Newcastle hit him back because, oh dear, it's just ridiculous, it really is. And the ironic thing is, the Newcastle fans have started having a go at Isak and saying how disgusting he is for doing this, this and this, trying to force a move. What they forget to tell you is a couple of seasons ago, there was a player called Anthony Gordon who played for Everton. And he did exactly the same thing to Everton to get a move to Newcastle. And Newcastle seemed to forgot about that. He actually turned around and said, I will not play again for Everton. I want to go to Newcastle. But they forget about that now, because Isak's doing it to move away from Newcastle. He's a bad guy. But when Gordon did it, not a problem. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but we've still got another, what we on? Did I say it was the 19th? I did say it was the 19th. Still got another 12 days, I think, until the end of the transfer window. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I've done a vlog, I've done some unboxings, I've shown you bits and bobs, talked to you for a little bit, bored you senseless, shown you books, and I'll do another vlog very, very soon. It's only about 4 weeks, sorry, till I go on holiday. I'm going to Cornwall for a week. And I'll do lots of footage while I'm down there because I'm taking my camera, so you'll have lovely views of Cornwall. I'll make you all sick to death of me, trust me. Anyway, you all take care and I'll do another vlog soon. Bye for now.